If you keep starting and quitting things, this video will change that. You don't need more motivation or willpower. What you need is to understand how habits actually work. Most people fail because they're fighting against their brain's design instead of working with it. This comes from Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit, a book based on years of scientific research into how habits form and how they can be changed, how you can change them. These aren't theories. They're proven strategies used by everyone, from Olympic athletes to Fortune 500 companies. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build any good habit and break any bad one. We'll break down the habit loop, how to hack it, and the step-by-step system that works with your brain, not against it. Let's start with why your past attempts failed. And it's not because you're weak. You see, the brain converts repeated behaviors into habits through a three-part loop: cue, routine, and reward. Over time, the brain automates this loop, so you don't need to think. Habits live in the basal ganglia, the part of the brain that handles decisions you no longer need to make consciously. You don't have to pay attention to them, just do. That's why habits feel effortless once they're formed. Picture a path cut through a field. The first time you walk it, you're making the trail. The 10th time, it's obvious. You don't think. You follow the groove. The cue is the first sight of the grass, flattened. The routine is the steps you take. And the reward is the relief of getting somewhere faster. Your brain prefers the path because it saves effort. It's easy. It's more efficient. You need to remember that. Your brain is trying to be efficient. So here's how to use the loop. The first step is identify the cue. When, where, and with whom the habit happens. The second thing is describe the routine. What exactly do you do? The third thing, pinpoint the reward. What are you really getting from it? The fourth, change the routine, but keep the cue and reward. And the fifth, repeat until it becomes automatic. You stop being surprised by your own behavior. You gain practical control. And over time, you rewrite your identity. Small, changed routines aggregate into a different man. Quieter, steadier, more reliable. Known of equanimity. Once you understand the loop, you can start intentionally designing habits. But knowing the loop isn't enough. You must engineer your environment. That's the next move. You see, the brain takes the path of least resistance. Remember what I said about efficiency? Your environment nudges you toward the habit. You'll follow it. Keystone habits are those single habits that trigger widespread change. Think of your life like a building. If you move the furniture so the couch blocks the door of the fridge, you change the flow of the house. A man I know wanted to stop late night snacking. He stopped buying junk food. That simple move took away the temptation. One small shift in his kitchen cascaded into better sleep, more focus, and weight loss. So here's how to do it. You have to choose one keystone habit, the foundation on which everything rests. Alter your environment. Remove friction for the good habit and add friction for the bad habit. Make it harder. 3. Use habit stacking. Anchor the new habit on an existing one. And 4. Make this first step tiny. Make it easy. Momentum builds. Your life shifts without constant willpower, and systems replace moralizing. The environment nudges are very, very powerful, but some habits are emotional. They're driven by craving. And to change those, you must hack the reward. See, the reward creates craving. And to break a bad habit, you must discover which reward your brain is chasing and offer a healthier substitute, something that will still give the same effect. A colleague of mine was addicted to midday sugar. He thought he wanted sweets, but he messed around with it for a while, and then he discovered that the real reward was a break from stress and a small social ritual. He'd swap candy for a 5-minute, walk with a coworker, and he got the same relief without the crash. So the process is, the first thing, you have to start with experimenting with substitutes for a week. Find the true reward, be honest with yourself about this, and make the substitutes immediate. You keep the relief you need without the damage, and you reclaim agency over emotional responses. No more reflex sabotage. People now are even swapping ice cream for Greek yogurt. The idea is the other is a more healthier alternative, but satisfies the same kick. But even with the right substitute, old habits can still creep in, and that's where friction and accountability comes in. See, adding friction to a behavior reduces its chances of happening. Social accountability leverages human nature. We don't want to let others down. A friend wanted to stop doom scrolling. He installed a website blocker, but also told his training partner he'd check in at 9 p.m. If he stayed off his phone, he was good. So friction plus accountability made the new behavior stick. Here's what you need to do. Increase the difficulty, the access to a bad habit, and decrease the difficulty, For a good habit, create social contracts. Tell a friend, join a group, set consequences, deploy automatically. Implementation helps you convert intention into action. Tiny habits reduce the barrier to starting. An athlete builds micro routines, tying a single breath or a stretch to a cue. Over time, the small action becomes the gateway to a whole session. What starts as 30 seconds becomes 90 minutes of focused work. Here's how he does it. The first thing you need to know is you need to write precise plans. If X happens, I will do Y. Make the first action tiny. Celebrate immediately. You need to give yourself that dopamine hit and gradually expand. Momentum becomes unstoppable. Small wins rewire your identity. You become the kind of person who follows through. Now you know how to build habits, but habits aren't neutral. They shape character. So let's talk about how to maintain them long term. Habits require reinforcement and occasional recalibration. Life changes, so must your systems. You have to keep up. A company keeps a product alive with monthly review cycles. Your habit needs the same. To make sure that they remain alive, you have to ensure weekly reviews. What worked, what didn't. Celebrate milestones, reward the system itself, and recalibrate after big life changes. Your habits stick longer. They become adaptable, they become resilient. And you need to realize that habits bend with life instead of breaking under it when you're able to keep up with these changes. Finally, here's the simple conclusion. Use the brain's wiring to your advantage. Don't wage war on it. Partner with it. If you apply these steps, you won't just build good habits. You'll become a different person. One who doesn't rely on motivation or willpower. They become easy, just like that. But again, even with perfect habits, there's one area that can derail everything. Your relationship with women. Your relationships with women. You can have your entire life figured out and still struggle with dating and finding the right woman. And that's what this next video solves. Click now to watch it. But if you enjoyed this and it left a positive impact on you, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let the YouTube algorithm know you really like this content so you can share more people and support what we're doing here on the channel. Until next time, guys. Peace, love, and light.